I know a good bit about it. I was actually on the committee.
Aha.
I was on the committee, and like I was saying, as a 40-year real estate broker, that also as a little kid, I'm 67 years old, as a little kid I used to pick blackberries out here on Mr. Tenenbaum's property when he had the junkyard here. So I'm very familiar with the property. So as a part of the committee, we ran into a big snag when I suggested, as a professional that could have written a summary on this entire project, because that's what I'm adept at doing. I complained about the parking, and I said that there was not enough parking, and that the footprint to the arena looks like the same geographical footprint of the property that the Civic Center is sitting on now. So my thinking was, well, how is this going to be new and improved if it's going on the same size piece of property? So if it's going on the same size piece of property, I pretty much concluded that there was not going to be enough parking to facilitate a facility of such magnitude.
Mm-hmm.
So
which committee was that?
The arena committee.
The planning committee.
The arena committee. There was me, and there was Chester Ellis, who Chester Ellis threatened to call the police on me because I told him I wasn't there. Just I needed to say what I had to say, and you don't have enough parking. So I want to at least say that. Now, if you want to tell me why you do have enough parking, then I'm willing to listen. But you telling me just to shut up, and I didn't come here to shut up. Okay. So, and I think Mr. Shearhouse, he was, and there was Linda Wilder Bryan, I think, and Alicia Blakely, and several other people, but there was nobody in the room with any real estate experience. I don't think there was another person in the room that used to actually pick blackberries where this arena's going to go. So I felt like what I had to say was important. And right now, that's the primary issue with this arena is the parking. That's what Jim Maraca says over there at the Connect magazine anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're trying to talk not just about the arena, but about this whole area, right? The arena is going to be the anchor, right? That was
Okay.
the issue around the SWAST. But we're trying to create a plan for this area, the Canal District. So what I'd really love to hear, because we know that the importance of preserving the history of these historic areas. What's that history? Tell us about your Savannah. If you grew up.
Well, this is where I live.
Ah.
I live right there. That's my house, the second one from the end.
Wow.
And it floods over here. I have a flood over here.
Mm-hmm.
This is 12 acres here. That when I discovered that this was purchased by the city, I asked them to please put a retention pond in here because it was flooding this entire area here. I have water under my house right now, and I'm putting in a French drain. I've spent over $25,000 in floors because of the flooding over there. I have numerous neighbors that have flooding. I used to manage and collect rent on a house right there, and that's got water in it too, which breeds mosquitoes. Now this area here, in 1971, it was, they turned loose mosquitoes with yellow fever. They did a study there with yellow fever there. They turned the mosquitoes loose, and this is the area that I live next door to because I figured since the federal government came down there and shut them down from manufacturing these mosquitoes, that it'd be safe. Well, it's not. They're probably back to it again. Now, this piece of property was purchased by a gentleman. This is how the city came into possession of it. This land was bought by a gentleman, and 6 months later, he bought it for $750,000. 6 months later, he sold it to the city for $2.2 million. So when I get to talking about flooding back here and that kind of thing, they don't want to talk to this community about the flooding back here because they don't want to disclose the fact that the guy bought it for $750,000 and sold it to the city of Savannah 6 months later for $2.2 million. They don't want to talk about this. I'm trying to have a forum with Van Johnson right now. I'm trying to have a forum with Van Johnson. right now about this same thing here that's going on here. He won't forum with me. He won't come to my community and talk to these people and tell them why all along he's been telling us that this land belongs to CSX Railroad. And even said that it belonged to CSX Railroad after I had CSX Railroad Legal Department send him an email saying, please stop telling people that the land belongs to CSX Railroad. It belongs to the city of Savannah. Okay? You get a shot of this hat here? That's a nice hat in it. That's a better sign there too. But anyway, I'm willing to tell the truth about what's going on here and what's going on in the entire city. I'm trying to get a high-speed train on this same track. Because living here, I see this traffic back up every day. Every day. It backs up from downtown all the way out to beyond 95. People trying to get out of here. I'm gonna put a big billboard up there and say, if you had a high-speed train, you'd be home now. And they read it every day. And they get on there and www.highspeedtrain. Those people that in these counties out here, their core MPO Citizens Advisory needs to advise the Georgia Department of Transportation that we need a high-speed train on that track to replace the train that was taken off of it in the first place. That's a railroad bed. Okay? So I went in the Union Station when I was a kid with my grandmother. And I'm still trying to find the pictures. You put your quarter in the machine and it takes you 4 pictures. Me and my grandmother when I was about 5 years old.
Yeah, you gotta find those and give them submit them online to the.
Well, they need to connect. But you know what? Let me tell you the very truth, y'all. I'm gonna tell you the very truth. I don't think that much of this is gonna be archived. I think that my whole conversation here, my interview is just gonna disappear from somewhere because they don't wanna talk about this. Okay, I'm invited to the League of Women Voters to come over to the Georgia Center and tell them, since they wanted me to come over there, I said, well, okay, that's fine. This situation here needs to be one of the topics that we talk about. Okay, this park over here, where's the Springfield Canal? And
the Bowles Seaford Park?
No, the Springfield Canal. Where's it? This is the arena site right here. Okay?
Yes.
This is the arena site.
Correct.
I used to walk from over here to go to Tompkins Pool. I cut across here, go across all that. See?
How did you get across? You walked? You drove? You biked?
There's a railroad trestle right here.
Uh-huh.
There's a railroad trestle.
So how would you get from up here down to the...
I'd come this is my house over here on Richard Street. I'd come from here, I'd walk down this way, come across here, and come across here.
So you just go through people's properties?
This is industrial.
Okay,
All
so
of this is industrial.
Okay.
Yeah, then they had a little pond here called the crawfish pond. We used to catch crawfish here, and and you could get the lard can, you know, and then you take the lard can and cook the crawfish. We could be on the bank cooking our crawfish, you know. That's up in there. But yeah, I walked all over here. And Mr. Tenenbaum used to drive this area in his old truck. He'd drive a piece of iron, he'd throw it on the truck. And then he decided to get a thing over here somewhere. They started out over there. But anyway,
his property must be over here?
This is it. Yeah, all of this he owned everything over here. Okay, but I talked to Mr. Tenenbaum and we talked about the likelihood of the city acquiring some more property as they did need, and they knew that. But me and Mr. Tenenbaum, we were wondering, how did they come to the conclusion that the Tenenbaums wouldn't sell them some more property if that's what you need to make a good development? Okay, everybody can see that, but the committee. And since I'm bringing this to their attention, they threatened to call the security on me. So I said, you don't have to call the security. I'm leaving, but I'm going to say what I have to say first. Okay? So I told him. Okay.
So let me ask you this. In 15 years, you're standing here in the arena site or in one of these places where you used to cut through. How do you know you're in Savannah? What do you see? What do you hear? Right?
just
it's gonna be
it's-
15. It's gonna be in 15 years. It's gonna be it's gonna be different, right? There's change
Yeah.
that's coming.
Yeah.
How do you know How do you know you're in Savannah? What makes you feel like you're in the place that you love, that you care about?
because I know it so well. I mean, I just know it. It's in my spirit. I know it. I can't be here. It's impossible for me to be here and not know I'm in Savannah. It's impossible. Okay? I know that. But this is going. This is not the highest and best use for this. Steel manufacturing. Okay? Because it encroaches on the general public now. Okay? So what I think will happen, you don't have that part on your map over here.
Yeah, we're
but
not planning.
But when you get to a bigger map,
What's here is going to, this
There you
change is going to affect everybody.
I know.
But for right now, we're planning
I know,
for
that's
this.
why we're trying to make that change. I can pretty much show you where this is going. So, but this is, that's totally not the highest and best use for that piece of property, manufactured of steel, because you have all the transportation infrastructure right to this piece of property. It's not absolutely necessary for them to be there. It's absolutely necessary for them to be where they're going.
Well, Mr. Wilson, thank you so much.
I thank you very much. Thank
really
you very much.